Kevin Durant way outside. Delivers! Kevin Durant from downtown.
So Carmelo Anthony is linked to the Lakers.
To who?
The Lakers.
He's linked to everybody.
He linked to the Lakers, the Pelicans, and the Trailblazers.
Yeah, but wherever he goes, he's going to be a role player.
I'm gonna just come out and say it. Carmelo Anthony is washed. He just need to give it up.
I didn't want to say that.
He's done.
But see, his ego won't let him.
He's done. He just needs to. I don't think being a role player is going to matter at this point because
he don't want to be.
He don't want to be, and
he still thinks he's an elite starter.
Right, and his ego won't allow him to,
Yeah, exactly.
He won't humble himself enough to come off the bench. He just won't.
That's why I just said, he like you said, he's washed, but he don't know it.
He don't play no defense. Like, what do you have to gain by bringing in Carmelo Anthony? Like, it would be, people was giving me flack because I said that Kyle Korver wouldn't really make a difference. All he would bring is 3-point scoring. And
that's the same thing as Carmelo.
Right. And he plays no defense. They was like, well, Klay Thompson, they tried to tell me having Klay Thompson, having Kyle Korver is similar to having Klay Thompson. I'm like, bro, you could understand.
Klay Thompson is a two-way player.
Right. He plays defense. He could guard multiple positions. So, like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
see what I mean?
It's crazy. If you could see what I deal with, like, I begin.
Yeah, but see, this is what happens when you deal with emotional people who don't act. They're actually really fans.
Yeah,
they are fans, and in the truest form, they are fans. They don't watch anything other than ESPN, and they go to YouTube and watch the highlights. They don't watch anything else other than the highlights. They don't watch people's deficiencies, because you can find all those videos too. The same way you can find how they do the spectacular dunks, you can find the videos where they can't make a 15-foot jump shot. So these are the fans. Those are the ones that are always watching the highlights. And I tell you one thing they won't find is a tape with Kyle Korver playing defense.
Right.
You won't find it with Carmelo playing defense.
They say he set good screens, and he's a streaky player. If he's missing shots, he's like, what are you going to do? Like, if he's missing shots, and I see, and when he was in Cleveland last year, they trying to say just because he's on a new team now, things are going to be all of a sudden different. LeBron's still on the team. Your team. You're not good defensively already. So if he's just coming over there and giving you some 3-point shooting, he's going to help
your defense.
Right.
They don't see that. See, that's what I mean. They're looking at offense. That's all they see is numbers. And if you don't play defense, you can't run up and down the court and play. You can't sustain that over 82 games. You have to play defense, and especially, and then when the playoffs come, if you haven't played defense all season, you really think that now you can just turn it on? Nah, because you ain't even a defensive player. So, and you're going to learn how to play defense between the time the season ends and the playoffs start. Okay, good luck with that one.
And you got people like, oh man, they make a Carmelo Anthony escape. What do you say? Yeah, he making Carmelo Anthony a scapegoat, and they making, they trying to make him seem like he's the problem. He is. He's done. He's washed.
But he ain't the whole problem.
Oh no, he ain't the whole problem, but he's a big part of the problem. He needs to go.
But he's going to be that same problem somewhere else,
right?
Until he decides that, okay, I'm a role player.
I don't think they coming off the bench to help. I just think he's washed.
No, he could give you that offensive spark off the bench. He give you like 4 or 5 minutes of straight. You need somebody to shoot. You understand what I'm saying? To come in and hit some shots. I mean, not clutch time when you need some defense. He ain't the one.
I'm looking at his numbers right now. So when he was in, this is just his average. When he was in 2018, this was this year, so far from the field, he's 4 for 12, and from the 3-point line, He's 2 for 6. Last year he was 2 for 6. That's through the whole season. He was 2 for 6 from 3. And from the field, he was 6 for 15. The year before that, he was 8 for 18. From the 3-point line, he was god awful. Like he was awful. He was like 2 for 5 in New York. Like it's getting worse and worse. So what I'm saying is, no matter if you bring him off the bench, his numbers aren't looking good. He is just become a spot up shooter. Players aren't really playing with their back to the basket no more. He needs the ball in his hands to really try to create his shot. And it's just he's not really going to be
worth it.
Yeah, he's not at all. I think
but see, you can't tell him that. And obviously there's people in his circle that won't tell him that.
He's washed. He's done.
You know, he's got a bunch of people calling him Mellow. He needs somebody in there to call him.
No, they call him Hoodie Mellow. Hoodie Mellow.
No, what I'm saying is that he needs somebody in his circle that will call him by his full government name and say, "Look, man, it's just time. It's time to give it up." You know, but he feel his ego won't let him.
What's the little thing that the old people what is called a walker? Yeah, Walker Mellow. That's what they should call him. They don't need to call him wheelchair Mellow. They need to call him Walker Mellow.
But see, that's just it, though. You know, when you're an elite athlete and you've been told throughout your entire basketball life that you're great, you're still great, you still got it, and eventually, you can't. Your ego just keeps sucking it all up, and it don't let it get past anything else. Your ego is in complete control, and so at some point you have to say, okay, you know what, maybe I need to rethink this. But right now, he's in full swing ego.
And he's streaky. So you'll have a game every now and then where he'll put up like 24, 25. But for the most part, he's not going to give you that. He's not going to be consistent. And you need consistency if you believe that you're going to be a superstar caliber player. Like, you can't be on one night and hitting threes
that ship has passed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's done.
But he won't. But once again, we know that, and a whole lot of other people know that. He may even know that,
because most of the games he probably had big nights was the night where he probably dominated the ball, had the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
So
and he knows that he's washed up, but his ego won't let him do nothing else but believe that. See, once the ego takes over, it takes for something to happen for you to realize that you ain't really who you thought you were. So right now he's in full ego mode.
I think the Lakers need. No, but right now, like I said, once the Tyson Chandler, I call it the new car smell. Once the car smell wear off, or that new car smell, once everything wear off, and it's gonna go back to stinking again. And what's gonna have to happen is the Lakers, they need a superstar for LeBron James in order so he could ride that wave, like I say, and he has to have that. There's no way that they're gonna get to the playoffs or the finals because they're barely winning. They're scratching. If you have close games with the Atlanta Hawks, that's not going to something that you can change. That's going, when you go play the Trailblazers or when you play these other elite teams, you're going to see a huge difference. Like, you're going to see, like, it's going to be a total difference. It's going to be like a mismatch because, I don't know, you ain't playing no defense. Your leader not playing defense. And Brandon Ingram, oh my God, I don't know what to say about him. Like, his last game, hold on, let me go to his last game. He been averaging 15 points per game last year. See, that's why I said he's not evolving. And some of it is not because of LeBron, but it's also I don't even want to really blame LeBron James. You know, I can't even blame LeBron James for Ingram, like because
it's effort
right.
off the court. I mean, not just effort on the court, but off the court. You know, what are you doing in practice? How much work are you putting in? How bad do you really want it? You know, those are things that determine where you're going to go. You know, how much are you putting into it? Because, you know, you get back what you put in.
Right.
So if you're only practicing, you know, 5, 10 jump shot, 20 jump shots a day, then okay, well.
Yeah, you can't. You going in there getting 100 shots and 100 shots of whatever's all over the gym pretty much, and it's not going to work after a while. You can't just rely on that. Like I said, Kobe, they shooting like 1,000, 2,000 shots a day. They are doing the same moves and trying new things and just in the gym constantly 4 in the morning. I just don't see that with him.
They got the key to the gym.
Right.
Right. So
I just don't think that he's evolved. I think that, I just think that he's content, and I don't see him really trying to progress. Like his last game, he had 10 points versus the Atlanta Hawks. 10 points. His last game before that was against the Sacramento Kings. He had 12 points. Now, remind you, these are going to be the worst teams in the NBA eventually. Mm-hmm. And you have 10 points, and you supposed to be the second star? No, I'm not buying that. And like I said, if LeBron going to be beside somebody, he has to be beside somebody who's already an established star, someone who isn't afraid of the moment, somebody who's going to say, I need that ball. See, Brandon Ingram's, if you waiting on him to develop, it's not going to happen under LeBron James because he's already showing you that he has no patience.
Nobody, okay, well, not only that, but who is there that has enough clout to walk up to LeBron and say, look, man, give me the ball?
Or just attitude enough to wave him off. Kyrie Irving gonna wave him off like, nah, I'm taking this last shot.
They don't have, everybody there is still in awe. Maybe not Lance Stevenson, but he ain't that dude.
Right.
So you got all these young guys that they're in awe of him because he was the dude that they used to watch when they was growing up. And now they're playing with him and they're like, they're starstruck. And
that's why I said in the beginning of the season, that's why I think the Lakers, if they don't make a trade, I said they was going to get an AFC, but I don't even think if they don't make a trade by the deadline, it's no way that team, they probably win at least 40 games, 42 games at least, if that. But I just don't think they could get to that point. I said they would win 47 games, but I just don't see that happening unless if they make a trade. I think they could go win 47 games possibly. But if they don't, and they need a superstar because you need a superstar caliber player, you're not going to be able to bring no average, or above average player to play with LeBron James. He needs superstars to be around him because he doesn't have the patience to develop a star, or he needs somebody that's going to come in there that's ready to play, ready to go. And I just don't think that Ingram is not that guy. Kyle Kuzma not the guy. If you see Kyle Kuzma missing shots down the stretch, he missing free throws just like LeBron. And then Brandon Ingram, they all just passing LeBron the ball and getting out the way, just standing out on the perimeter and just watching LeBron go to work. And, they show up on defense, and he just seemed like I don't know. He just don't seem like he won it. You got to want it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I'm just going off his first game. His first game, he had 16 points. And that's when, so the first game, he was 0 for 4 down the stretch. And that's when Luke Walton took him out from the 3-point line. So he got mad because Luke Walton took him out. That was the first game. And he was like, I'm like, bro, you ain't making no shots. What you want Luke Walton to do? So he complained about that. So I'm like, all right, the next game, you got to go in there and prove that you deserve to not be taken out during that time. You got to make shots. So then that was that second game when he got tossed out for fighting, pushing James Hart and then fighting Chris Paul. And so I'm like, all right, you starting to mess it up for yourself because this is your opportunity to prove that you could be a second star. You got to take the bull. What they call it? Take the bull by the horn.
By the horn.
Yeah, and you got to take it. You got to go out there and take it. You can't.
Yeah,
can't nobody
ain't built like that, David. That's just it.
No, but I'm saying y'all can't push him as that. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to. Magic Johnson already saying he's untouchable. They saying that he's a great player, and you got other people saying it like he's going to be the next Kawhi Leonard. He's going to be the next. He's going to be the next Jimmy Butler. He's going to be the next Paul George. You just have to be patient. Let him build. I'm like, no.
Just let him be. Well, okay. Maybe they should just let him be Brandon Ingram, and then let him be whoever he is. And understand that he ain't going to be whoever you want him to be. And if you just let somebody be whoever they are, and sometimes because when you start telling them that you're the next this or they're the next that, you best believe that there's somebody in their camp, if it's not even them, that reads these little things and they start to put the stuff in their head that, hey man, they're saying that you could be the next the next Kawhi Leonard or the next Kevin Durant, and he don't understand what goes into it. He may have some physical gifts,
3 rebounds.
If you don't have the mental fortitude to go or that work ethic to go in the gym for hours and hours and hours at a time and shoot till you can't lift your arms, and then you go shoot then you go shoot some more. Then you will only be whatever you put into it.
And if he gonna be that, he got to go because you can't have 10 points, 3 rebounds. First of all, you like 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", and your arms probably make you about 7 foot, but you can't.
Yeah.
There's no way you should have 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 turnovers against the Atlanta Hawks.
It makes no difference what your physical attributes are. If you are not mentally ready, if you're not mentally tough, if you don't want it, it makes no difference. He can have the wingspan of the entire length of the basketball court, but if he does not want it, he will never get it. And so that's what I mean as far as how they push these people, these kids, and they tell them that you're the greatest, and they never tell them no, and they give them, they've been given and they coddle them, and they tell them that you're this, and they tell them that you're that, and they start to figure that I don't have to practice, I can just go by my name. All I got to do is walk out there, and I'm Brandon Ingram. This is who I am. Well, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, they give them all this stuff, and they tell them all this stuff, and then they start to believe it, and instead of putting in the work for it, they just go based on the fact that somebody said that they're going to be this and they're going to be that. But you don't understand that you have to put in the work. I don't care how physically gifted you are. If you don't put in the work to enhance it or use your physical attributes to your advantage, it don't matter.
They just need to package Ingram, Kuzma, Hart, Lonzo, draft picks.
For who?
Now I don't know for who. For a star, somebody. They got to.
Yeah, but see, once again, you get a star, you still have to have role players.
You still got to have a closer, but those guys, they're no. I'd rather take my chance and possibly it's some people, it's some free agents.
But you give up 4 people for one. you still got to replace the 3 of those people that you got rid of.
Yeah, it's some free agents out there. I'll take a chance with if I got Anthony Davis.
Okay, but this is something that you do at the end of the year. You can't do it at the beginning.
You ain't gonna make it to the end of the year because if you go to the end of the year, you're not getting none of them stars.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. If you're waiting on free agents, you can't get a free agent in the middle of the season either.
No, I'm saying you can get a player.
Yeah, okay, but you trade 4 players for 1. Okay, you still you got 12 players. You trade away 4 of them, which leaves you with 8. You get 1 back, which leaves you with 9. You still need 3 other players to fill in.
Well, what I would do, like I said, is free agents out there. I'm saying it's players that they can sign right now. They can still pick up. That's free agents.
It ain't playing.
Yeah, that's not playing. So what I'm saying is, you can either do that, either try to keep Josh Hart. I like Josh Hart. Josh Hart, he's not a starter, but he's a great role player. So I think that you keep him. Kuzma could be a great role player, but I'd rather take my chances with somebody who can really play deep.
Wait a minute now. We was just hot on Kyle Kuzma. What happened?
Hey. You only good as your last game. You only.
Dang, man.
Hey, it's time. Kyle Kuzma.
I just rough on them dudes.
Yes,
man.
I'm a huge Laker fan, but at the end of the day, you either got it or you don't, and it's things that don't allow him. I think it's just things that don't allow him. His body type. It don't allow him to have great the great ball handling skills, and then on top of that, he
can't. Could that just not be he practice?
Nah, I just think he's just not built because he said that. At least this is what he's told us. He said he worked on his ball handling skills. Like I watched a lot of the interviews. He said he worked on his ball handling skills. He said he's worked on, I guess his footwork and certain other things, his defense. But I don't see no improvement really. I see it every now and then, but I just don't see the improvement. And it's not really not going to see it. The fact that LeBron is there and your leader not playing defense, it's not going to make you want to play no defense.
Therein lies part of the problem.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is Kuzma is not. None of those young guys aren't going to work. It's bad timing. They could possibly turn into great players.
Bringing a bunch of old people.
Right. You have to. LeBron James had to be around some veterans, and if you got some young,
he ain't a teacher type.
Yeah, he's not going to teach those players. So, like I said, Kuzma, I like Kuzma, but it just
maybe he's better somewhere else.
Yeah, he'd be better somewhere else. A lot of them will, but
they can learn.
Yeah, but I just don't see none of them becoming superstars or anything.
I don't know. I like Kuzma.
Yeah, I like him too, but
I think if he get with the right situation, he I don't know. We'll see.